Hello and welcome to Gold and Silver Assets. It's Sunday the 29th of December 2019. So I hope everyone's enjoying a nice break, and when we look at the gold and silver markets, trading volumes do tend to be light at this time of year. However, we have seen some strong upward moves both in gold and silver prices. So let's start by looking at gold in US dollars on the daily scale. And here, just by standing back, we can see that we've got a very clear uptrend. So we've got higher highs and we've also got higher lows. So we're clearly in an uptrend at the moment. Now, earlier in the year, we saw this falling wedge from which price broke out and moved strongly upwards. And since September, we've been in a corrective phase. This correction seemed to be forming a falling wedge, although it's not as steep as the one that we saw earlier in the year. And more recently, we saw this breakout from this upper trend line here over the past few days. But of course, remember that a falling wedge is a very bullish pattern. And so I would expect prices to be generally moving upwards in the coming months. However, prices don't move up in a straight line, and so we're going to have to watch to see what happens here. At the moment, price does seem to be stalling a little bit, and this is probably related to this preceding overhead resistance here. Let's have a closer look on the chart in the 4-hourly scale. So again, this is that falling wedge that we saw. And this was the channel that we were talking about in previous weeks. And last week I spoke about this ascending triangle here, from which we actually ended up having an upwards breakout. And I did expect an upwards breakout would be quite strong, which it was. We also talked about this overhead resistance here, and prices do seem to have stalled a little bit, and it remains to be seen whether we can move further up from here immediately. I think more likely a bit of a breather is required before we move up. If we do have a breather, then the prices that I would be looking for are a drop to 1480, which would basically bring us to roughly the top of this trend line again, and then prices could bounce off there. Alternatively, we could see a drop down to the bottom of this channel here. And that's something that happened in the preceding wedge as well. So that is another possibility. And again, prices would bounce off there. And so we're looking at the 1460 level. Lower likelihood would be the 1440. And that would provide support from way back here. I'm very doubtful we're going to go any lower than that. And the chances of us going to 1420 are very slim. So I think the most likely, if we do take a breather, the prices are likely to be 1480 or 1460. Let's have a look at silver in US dollars, and again we had a huge breakout here. Again, here we had a small triangle, prices shot up, and they've hit a little bit of overhead resistance from back here. And the candles that we're seeing here are suggestive of a brief correction. The question is, are we going to get a bit of a flag before moving up, or are we going to get more of a correction? If we do, then the prices we'll be looking for are 17 US dollar price, and at the very most, in fact I don't think we'll even reach that, would be the 1650 here, which has some support there. I'm pretty doubtful that we're going to go in much lower than that, because again we've got this very bullish falling wedge, which again, interestingly, is less steep than the one that we saw earlier in the year. So overall, I think the bull trend has resumed, and we can expect much higher prices in the coming months. However, it's not going to go up in a straight line. It's going to be a zigzag pattern, and it's just a matter of catching those lows on the way up if you're looking at going long. That's all for today, and all the best for the new year. See you on the next show. Bye.